You've been reluctant to comment on the words and actions of the U.S. president, but we do have Donald Trump now calling for military action against protesters. We saw protesters tear gas yesterday to make way for a presidential photo op. I'd like to ask you what you think about that, and if you don't want to comment, what message do you think you're sending?
Well, first of all, I'm going to keep saying loud and clearly that I am a feminist.
To young Black Canadians, I hear you when you say you are anxious and angry, when you say that this brings back painful experiences of racism that you've faced. I want you to know.
I was in high school. I dressed up at a talent show. And in 2001, when I was a teacher out in Vancouver, I attended an end-of-year gala where the theme was Arabian Nights. And I dressed up in an Aladdin costume and put makeup on. I shouldn't have done that. Regardless of the context or the circumstances, is always unacceptable because of the racist history of blackface. I should have understood that then, and I never should have done it.
We need to do better in Canada. We need to continue to know that.
Today we're moving forward with a ban on military-style assault weapons.
But you need to take as much effort to talk to your sons, my 8-year-old boy and my 2-year-old, still a little young still, about how he treats women and how he is going to be grown up to be a feminist just like Dad. And by the way,
there are far too many Canadians who this morning had to explain to their kids what those pictures were of their Prime Minister and what kind of society we live in and what kind of world we need to live in and how things have evolved.
no parent should have to once again explain to their kids that they or their friends might face racism.
And in my conversations with my kids, a difficult conversation I had this morning about taking responsibility for your actions and learning from your mistakes. But I think the essence of this is that people can experience interactions differently. And part of the lesson we need to learn in this time of collective awakening is a level of respect and understanding for the fact that people, in many cases women, experience interactions in professional contexts, in other contexts, differently than men. Even though we seem nicer and a little more touchy-feely and we believe in good things, if I apologized later, then it would be because I sensed that she was not entirely comfortable with the interaction we had.
When you have women having to turn to the media or social media to get their message out, it's because there's a breakdown in the system somewhere.
There's no country in the world that has a greater vested interest in the U.S. doing well than Canada doing well because we're so linked.